have too long. He's got to leave behind all the comforts of home. Seasons of my life don't wash away.
So, out here walking Simon. It's Thursday. One thing, guys, I gotta talk about is I've been going through it the last couple days. I've been feeling super uninspired, super unmotivated, and it's been hard. It's been hard to upload videos daily. And, you know, I've just been looking and searching for a little bit of creative inspiration. And it's been kind of rough, like I said, the last couple days, but you know, that's part of powering through daily vlogging and powering through the daily upload schedule. The week where I was sick kind of threw me off and kind of put me behind, and I don't know, now it seems like it's really hard to get back on track or get back ahead. The light out here is just incredible right now. There's all of these little pockets of light just everywhere. I wish I would have brought my camera out here because I feel like taking photos today. I feel like that's what I need. So every time we come out here on this trail, it's always hard to walk down all the paths, especially as it starts, you know, tapering off from summer into fall, because you run into all of these spiders. And these spiders are these certain type of spiders that come out in the fall, and they have these really spiny butts. I'll throw a picture of them up here, but they're extremely creepy looking, but they're not poisonous or venomous. They're, you know, completely fine. They're just one of like 6 or 7 species of spiders that comes out, and it helps you realize that fall's coming. That's, you know, like if you didn't have a calendar, or, you know, back in the day, right? People would see these spiders and realize that fall's coming. So Simon loves going down all these I just walked through one, going down all these trails, but you have these spiders, and there's a lot of them, and they're called, or this type that I keep running into are called microndias, something like that. I'll throw a picture of them up here, but apparently you have the females, which are the big ones with the spiky butts, and the males are smaller, and the females actually eat the males, sort of like praying mantises do. It's really gnarly, but they make webs all over these trails, and they go from the ground, sort of ground level up high, and it's really hard to avoid them. I try to sort of like sneak underneath them, that way I don't disturb them, because I really don't like, you know, being like, well, I'm walking through the woods temporarily, sorry for your web, guy, but I'm destroying it. But man, sometimes you have to sort of just power through. There's a web right here. Try to step over it. I know it's probably hard to see on camera, but oh gosh, ran into another one. There's one right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm not freaked out by spiders. I actually like spiders. I just I don't want them on me unless I want them on me, I guess, so to speak. Like, I'm not scared of them. If they get on me, I'm not gonna freak out, but I don't know, I really honestly just don't like being covered in their web. It just makes me feel weird. Alright, Side Guy, let's go this way. So we're gonna try and search for some more. I just walked that way. How's there already another web right there? So we're gonna try and continue to search for some creative inspiration today. I'm gonna grab my camera. I'm gonna try to take some photos. Sorry about the last couple uploads, guys. I know the shorts and maybe the live streams isn't what you signed on for in the 100 series, but I don't know. Some days it's gonna be like that. You know, I actually really, really enjoy live streaming, and I'm waiting because I'm supposed to get equipment in the mail today to help make my live stream video quality look a lot better than it did last Friday. So hopefully that stuff arrives on time. I just walked through another spider web. I feel it on my elbow. Damn it. Whew. I feel like I still have spiders on me from being in the woods. I bet I have one just like in the middle of my backpack here, just hanging out, just waiting to creep up across the side of my face when I'm sitting here. But so that album I was just putting on is my favorite album of all time. It's Nick 13. It's his solo project. If you're not familiar with it, I'll drop the link down below. You definitely should go check it out. Nick 13, he's a singer-songwriter from the band Tiger Army. Tiger Army is like a psychobilly punk project, and absolutely love the band so much. But he came out with a solo album that musically was different from his main band, Tiger Army. And, you know, his main band, like I said, Tiger Army, they're like a psychobilly punk band, but his solo project is like a country western Americana type feel, which is really weird for me to like that type of music. Now, you probably figure I would like that type of music just being from Texas, because when you think of Texas, you think of cowboys and country music, western people and stuff like that, but never big on it. There is some country artists I like and some Americana artists I like, but not very many. You know, I really just like certain songs from them. But this album, if I could listen to one album the rest of my life, and only one album, it would probably be Nick 13's solo album. I just love it so freaking much. There's a lot of emotional attachment to it as well. Like, me and my wife both love Tiger Army, and we sort of bonded over that in our, you know, beginning stages of our relationship, because I really didn't know anybody at the time that listened to them. They're popular, but they're a very niche type of music. And then, you know, of course, when his solo album came out, it was a little bit of slower stuff. So we just sort of bonded over a lot of the songs. So I love it for that. I also love it because it sort of reminds me of my childhood a little bit. So like I said, being from Texas, born there, raised there for a portion of my life, I remember just riding through like the desert canyons and the Texas countryside with my grandparents in my grandpa's truck, with him and my grandmother and my sister, my older sister, and them just playing country music. Hated it as a kid, still not a fan of that country music, but it just reminds me of a time, a much simpler time in life, right? And I just absolutely love the desert. Love the desert. If I could move out west, I probably would. And, you know, love out west, but I would miss the mountains too much. I'd have to find some mountains or some canyons out there to live by or something. But it brings me to this memory that I have. So I remember one time we were taking a ride through the countryside in my grandpa's truck, and we came across this guy, and this is going to sound completely made up, but I promise you it's not. I'm going to have to get in touch with my sister. I'm going to send her a text and follow up just to make sure I have the details right. But we were riding through the Texas countryside, and we came across this guy who was letting people take pictures with his car, which was like either a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, something like that, and either like a cheetah or like a panther. I cannot remember what it was. It sounds super made up, but it's not. Like, so my grandparents pulled in there, and we got out of the car. Me and my sister were either standing in front of or sitting on his car with this cheetah or this like baby panther. And I remember he was taking Polaroids. So it'd be gnarly if I could find the Polaroid pictures. I imagine my grandparents have them, or my grandmother has them, or maybe my sister does. I don't know. Maybe my dad. You know, I'm sort of excommunicated from a lot of my family other than my sister, so getting a hold of the picture would be kind of hard, but I'm going to try my best. And I'll definitely touch base with my sister and see what she says about the story, because I know that that is not a made-up memory of mine. I was just really young. So, yeah, so that was crazy. So, you know, just all of these weird little things like that. This album sort of reminds me of being in Texas and living in Texas as a kid. Another recommendation of mine is this book right here. I was reading a little bit earlier, you know, Quentin Tarantino, huge fan of his, as a lot of filmmakers or people that are into film are, makes absolutely insane movies. And what I like about Tarantino is not just his movies. I like watching his interviews. I like his commitment and his dedication to film. And this book right here, you know, really gives you a lot of that. You know, this is written by him, and it's talking a little bit about how he grew up, how he found his love for film, or why he loves film so much, and sort of his opinions on certain films and his recommendations regarding them. It's literally just him talking about film throughout this entire book. So if you love to hear Quentin Tarantino talk, or you love his movies, highly recommend this book. It's exceptional. I'll throw a link down in the description for that also. So that creative motivation that I was talking about earlier on the walk with Simon, it's crazy because you don't really realize that, you know, you're sort of lacking that motivation until it happens. And then you don't realize how hard or how easy it can be to get back. Now that I'm sitting down and just hanging out and chatting with you guys, like, I realize this is it. You know, this is it. This is, you know, the purpose of the vlogs right here. You know, sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing a live stream today. People are going to be not as entertained, or I'm doing a short, but this is it right here. This is like why I'm here. You know, it's not to be out doing crazy stuff. It's just to be here chatting. And sometimes I lose sight of that, what's important for the vlogs, or what's important, you know, for the channel. And teaching, like I said, photography, filmmaking, all that stuff is important, but, you know, really just to me, like I said, I've always just wanted to be a place where people can come hang out and maybe learn some stuff and be entertained along the way. So, I don't know. I feel that creative inspiration and creative motivation coming back. And all it took was me turning on the camera and talking to you guys and chatting about a few things. So I always have to remind myself to take my own advice and just go shoot. So always remember that. Turn on the camera, just go shoot, and maybe creative things will happen.
I have one that you love like that you don't understand.
She's talking about dogs.
My boyfriend said he's just a dog. That's a dog.
She's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's just a dog. Look, there's some chopsticks. Slightly used. Too many people associate horror with supernatural movies. You know what I mean? Like Annabelle or The Conjuring, or, you know, like the newer ones. You know, they don't understand that really the scary ones are the slashers. You know, scary ones are the slashers, even though they don't have jump scares. And put him where? Then what are you gonna do with him? What are you gonna do with it if I get out and get it?
Take him home. Let him free in the bushes.
Well, he got in the car whether you wanted him to or not. Now you gotta find him.
This is back.
That was a joke. Well, if we don't get him out, he's gonna die.
No, we'll get him.
You're gonna have to tear the car apart to find him.
No, I think he's in the back of your seat.
He's gonna like come crawling up my face. Some giant praying mantis. Yeah, he did not. Oh, you see him?
Yeah, he's just not.
Well, we'll have to go home after this.
Yeah.
What if he has babies out here?
They don't mess with their babies after they're
They're
born.
solitary creatures anyways, aren't they?
And they don't lay their oothicas until fall. And then after they lay their eggs, they die.
Oh, so sorry. I'd like new straws.
No thank you.
No worries. Then you'll have a great one.
Thanks, you too. Same thing, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that... yeah. I can only imagine, like, somebody like him watching like Suspiria. You know what I mean? Or like an Argento film, or that's the thing, is a lot of people, they just don't get it. And it's like when people are like, oh, what's some horror movie recommendations? I'm like, oh, well, what about, you know, have you ever seen Italian horror? Bava, Fulci, Argento, you know what I mean? It's like, it's cheesy as shit unless you watch it through like the right eye, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, people are spoiled with horror. They just like the modern ones. You know, you have to actually appreciate horror and understand, you know, the horror is not just jump scares and like gore.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I say the scariest movies, like when you want to talk about movies being scary, it's, to me, it's the slashers. It's movies like Zodiac Killer or Zodiac, or, you know, like Maniac or The Hitcher, or where it's like, oh shit, that could really happen. You know, it's not like the ghost story where it's like, you know, Sixth Sense, or
I love a good ghost story.
I mean, they're ghost stories are great because they're fun, because they for me,
because they make your imagination go.
yeah, because they're fantasy, right? It's like watching Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or Indiana Jones or Pirates of the Caribbean. That's what makes horror
reality.
fun. The scary, like the shit that makes you feel uneasy though, is like serial killer stuff and like slasher stuff, to where it's just like, you know, Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave, you know, what's the other one? Like even stuff like,
I don't see those as horror movies. I see those as just like revenge films. It's scary because people can do those things in real life to people and have no conscience. But like, I don't consider those horror.
well, I mean, you know, it's a fine line, right? So do you consider Alien a horror movie?
No, just sci-fi.
Sci-fi
to be honest,
horror?
I haven't seen Alien since I was probably like, well, jumpy.
I'm gonna document this moment, Tom.
It's gone.
So, I tried to catch a praying mantis for Tawny at Starbucks. I got out of the car and tried to grab it off the wall, and it flew into the car because I left my door open. And while we're at the drive-thru, she's looking and she's like, okay, well, he's on the back of your seat. And it's massive, but he's in here somewhere. I don't know where the heck he's at. So we gotta get him before, you know, he gets closed up in the car and dies. Tawny loves praying mantis. Praying mantis? Praying manti? Praying mantises. We have a bunch in our yard, so we're trying to catch this one.
Hi.
All right, so that was a successful trip of thrifting. We found a couple things. Tawny found some frames. I found some more coffee cups, not that I need anymore. I shot a couple Polaroids the other day off that one film pack. I still haven't finished it, but some more that I'm stoked on. This one here, this is just Tawny standing up against this person's shed. We were walking down the street and we saw this shed that had all these vines growing all over it. So we shot that. I'm stoked on that one. And this one, took a picture of her in the thrift store, just documenting those memories. And, you know, looking over at my bookcase today, I saw these Polaroids that I took. So these right here are more photos of Tawny. This one is last Halloween, putting up the Halloween tree. We put up a Halloween tree every year. And her birthday last year, where I took her to this little A-frame cabin in the middle of the woods in Asheville. So the cool thing about these, the reason I'm showing you these, you can't really tell, but they're gold. They have gold frames. And see how the white in the gold looks. So you could kind of tell that, yeah, these are a different color. These frames, they're gold. And I don't know if those are special edition frames on those Polaroids, or if you can get them year round on their website, but every once in a while the store carries them. and I really like those. I like the gold ones and I like the black frames. Those are probably my favorite. So with that, our equipment came in for our live stream for tomorrow. So it actually came in on time, which is surprising, and I'm stoked on it. So it's not really anything, you know, exceptional. It's just an Ethernet switch, some extra Ethernet cables, a 50-foot Ethernet cable, a 3-foot, well, not even 3-foot, what is this? This is a 1-foot Ethernet cable. And like I said, this little Ethernet switch. So hopefully all of this is going to allow me to have some hardwired Ethernet out here, and which will allow me to have better upload speeds and in turn have better video quality on the live stream. So super stoked about that. I got to get this stuff installed and tested out tonight. So this vlog may be a two-parter because I have to end it a little early because we got to go to this cookout for my son's 4-H thing, and I need to go ahead and start editing this down. That way I have something uploaded on time. So yeah, it was a good Thursday. It was rather quick, you know, and like I said, the creativity is starting to slowly come back into the vlogs. Again, I apologize for the last couple videos. I know they were shorts, but they were still things I wanted to talk about in those shorts. But I do want to make sure that I'm putting out more long-form content in this video series than anything else. So let me know down below, how was your Thursday? How was your Friday going? Let me know, and as always, guys, stay rad, just go shoot, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.